2009 was the second year of one of the deepest recessions in decades. It was a difficult year for many Wright-Hennepin members, and that's why the primary focus of your board of directors, management, and employees in 2009 was to seek out every possible way, large and small, new and old, to assist your families in weathering the storm while safeguarding the condition of your electric cooperative. The most visible way we tried to provide shelter from the storm was to keep your rates competitive with other suppliers operating in this marketplace. This graph shows how Wright-Hennepin once again stacked up against three other utilities operating here. You can see Wright-Hennepin's net 2009 residential price per kilowatt hour was virtually the same or lower than other suppliers. And if you participate in our off-peak program, as almost half of our members do, your overall price in 2009 was 25 to 26% lower than customers of other local utilities, and almost 40% lower than the U.S. average of all electric rates. Helping this competitive record were two separate electric bill credits your board of directors authorized in 2009. The first occurred last March when, after the 2008 books were closed, we found that year-end revenues and margins were much better than projected. In recognition of the difficult economy, your board immediately refunded $1.7 million back to you as a direct credit on your electric bill. Then just this past November, the board retired another $800,000 to you in the normal capital credit retirement. This too was a direct credit on your electric bill. 2009 was the first year in the co-op's 73-year history that the board authorized a double capital credit retirement to its members from local distribution operations. Another big help with competitiveness in 2009 was the new wholesale power supply arrangement the board authorized only a few years ago. Instead of purchasing power from just one power supplier, as had been the practice for most of Wright-Hennepin's history, we negotiated long-term supply contracts with two suppliers. This was an important change because wholesale power represents 70% of Wright-Hennepin's entire cost structure. It saved your cooperative more than $4 million just last year alone. What did this mean to you? It was like getting 1 month of free electricity for every Wright-Hennepin residential member in 2009, compared to what we would have had to charge under the previous arrangements. Besides watching over the price of wholesale power, an important part of the board's oversight responsibility is also make sure local operating costs are being managed effectively. This slide from our banker shows how Wright-Hennepin is doing in the area compared to the rest of the electric cooperatives in the nation. Here is an 8-year history of Wright-Hennepin's cost management performance. It shows that for the most recent information available, that our local operations here in Rockford and on the grid in Wright and Hennepin County cost 1.43 cents per kilowatt hour you purchase from the co-op. Here is the line showing the average of all 44 electric cooperatives in the state, and the line showing the average of 1,000 electric cooperatives in the nation. The next two lines are the most meaningful because they compare us to cooperatives most like Wright-Hennepin. This line shows Wright-Hennepin's cost compares against co-ops in the nation our exact size. And this final line shows how we compare with co-ops with the same size electric plant as Wright-Hennepin. These lines are a good indicator of the efficiency of Wright-Hennepin local operations. An increasingly important shelter from the economic storm is Wright-Hennepin's new WH Holding Company. WH Holding became necessary because of the success of our diversified businesses like WH Security, WH International Response Center, and 3 other independent limited liability companies. WH Holding holds these companies in a legal shell which protects the electric cooperative's non-profit status and provides liability protection, among other things. Because the financial benefits flow directly to the electric cooperative's consolidated financial statement, these contributions meant we would charge you less on your electric bill. Wright-Hennepin's Vice Chair Tom Mock is chairman of the board for WH Holding. The rest of the Wright-Hennepin board provides governance for the WH Holding Company. That board meets once a month before the electric board meeting to provide financial oversight, set strategy and policy, as well as ensure coordination between the 2 companies. Other noteworthy ways your board tried to provide shelter for you for the economic storm in 2009 include manage margins as low as we could go while still maintaining all our bankers' requirements. This meant we would charge you less on your electric bill. We offered an early retirement program to a dozen of our employees last April to reset the number of workers we needed for the economic slowdown in a positive fashion that saved significant costs on our operating statement. We accepted an unsolicited offer on our small telecommunications subsidiary that provided a positive gain for the organization. All these things and more were part of the board's strategy to assist Wright-Hennepin families weather the worst economic downturn in decades, while keeping your organization in a sound financial condition. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we want to thank you for the opportunity to serve.